Hey guys, Steinixos here. So, One Piece is technically a pirate anime, meaning naturally there's a huge emphasis on the seas that make up its world. And with that in mind, I thought it'd be fun to dive into something a little different. A look at the most dangerous seas in the One Piece world. Now, before we get into that, let's take a quick moment to understand how the oceans of this world are actually structured. You see, in the world of One Piece, the oceans are divided into 4 major seas, along with 2 grand intersecting routes that form the backbone of global navigation and exploration. The 4 primary seas are the East Blue, the West Blue, the North Blue, and the South Blue. These seas are separated by 2 enormous geographical barriers, the Red Line and the Grand Line. Now the Red Line is this massive continent-like landmass that runs vertically across the entire globe. It's basically a gigantic wall of land that stretches from the seafloor to the sky. Meanwhile, the Grand Line is a powerful and mysterious ocean current that wraps horizontally around the planet, cutting straight across the Red Line and dividing the world's oceans into 4 distinct quadrants. And on either side of the Grand Line, you've got the calm belts, 2 deadly regions of ocean with no wind, no currents, and teeming with enormous sea kings that makes travel there, practically, sailing to certain doom. Together, the Red Line and the Grand Line make straightforward sea travel between the blues almost impossible, at least for the average person. Now, the Grand Line itself is divided into 2 halves. The first half is commonly called Paradise. It begins at Reverse Mountain, a unique landmark where 4 seas converge and flow upward, creating one of the most bizarre and dangerous entrances in the entire world. The midpoint of the Grand Line journey is the Sabaody Archipelago, a cluster of mangrove islands sitting right before the Red Line must be crossed again. And beyond that point lies the second half of the Grand Line, known only as the New World. So now that we've got a solid understanding of how this oceanic world is built, and what makes each region unique, let's dive right into the heart of today's topic, the most dangerous locations across these treacherous seas. Our first stop on this list is the place I mentioned earlier, the legendary entrance to the Grand Line, Reverse Mountain. This is easily one of the most iconic and perilous locations in the entire world of One Piece. It acts as the gateway between the relatively calm waters of the blues and the unpredictable chaos that defines the Grand Line. Now, what makes Reverse Mountain so fascinating is the fact that it sits right at the convergence point of all 4 major seas, East Blue, West Blue, North Blue, and South Blue. And here's where things start to get weird. Instead of water flowing down the mountain like you'd expect, the ocean currents from each of these 4 seas actually rush upward through separate canals carved into the mountain's sides. They all meet right at the summit, and from there, the combined flow plunges straight down into the Grand Line. It's like nature itself is breaking its own rules. And that's exactly the point. Reverse Mountain is the first clear sign that the normal laws of the sea simply don't apply here. For any pirate crew trying to enter the Grand Line, this mountain is the first major trial, and it's a brutal one. The currents that drive ships up the mountain are insanely fast, violent, and narrow. There's almost no room for steering, no margin for error. One wrong angle, one mistimed correction, and your ship could be shattered against the rock walls in an instant. And forget relying on maps or compasses. Traditional navigation, it's basically useless here. Success depends as much on luck and instinct as it does on raw sailing skill and preparation. But even if you somehow make it to the summit, the danger doesn't stop there. On the other side is a steep sudden drop straight into the Grand Line itself. A sea infamous for its erratic weather, shifting currents, and the monstrous creatures that call it home. So you've just survived this insane uphill battle, only to be thrown immediately into the lion's den. You can crash on the descent, get pulled into another violent current, or run headfirst into a sea king the moment you arrive. And worst of all, there's no turning back. Once your ship begins climbing Reverse Mountain, there's no stopping, no retreating, no second chances. It's a one-way ticket. You're either in or you're out for good. But beyond all the physical danger, Reverse Mountain carries a much deeper, almost symbolic meaning. You see, it's more than just a geographical barrier. It's a turning point. It marks the divide between the known and the unknown, between safety and true adventure. To cross it is to commit yourself, body and soul, to the path of a real pirate. It's a test of courage, conviction, and willingness to dive headfirst into chaos. In that sense, Reverse Mountain isn't just an obstacle. It's a rite of passage. The first real step into the vast, wild, and unpredictable journey that is the Grand Line. The next dangerous area of the seas we're going to talk about is the stretch of ocean just outside Jaya Island, specifically the location of the legendary Knockup Stream. Now, this thing is no ordinary current. The Knockup Stream is one of the most dramatic, unpredictable, and downright terrifying natural phenomena in the entire world of One Piece. It's essentially a massive vertical column of water that shoots straight up from the ocean with explosive force, powerful enough to launch an entire ship thousands of feet into the air. For daring adventurers, this serves as the main gateway to the fabled Sky Island, which floats nearly 10 kilometers above sea level. You see, this incredible geyser is believed to form when a huge underwater cavity fills with pressure from intense geothermal activity. Eventually that pressure builds, and then violently expels the water upward, like a cannon blast from the sea itself. The eruption only lasts about 1 minute, but in that short time, it completely transforms the surrounding ocean into pure chaos. Now, what makes the Knockup Stream so dangerous isn't just its raw power, it's how unpredictable it is. It doesn't erupt in the same place every time, and the exact timing and coordinates shift with each occurrence. That means any crew daring to use it has to calculate not only where it will appear, but when. And that's no easy feat. Mistime your approach, and your ship could be capsized, smashed to pieces, or dragged under by the violent whirlpools that form right before the eruption. And even if you do hit it perfectly, there's still no guarantee you'll survive. The sheer upward pressure and speed can destroy weaker ships, splitting them apart mid-ascent. The vertical force alone puts enormous strain on both the vessel and the crew inside it. But even once you're airborne, the danger doesn't stop there. The Knockup Stream doesn't send you up in a clean, steady line. It tosses ships around violently, flinging them in every direction as they rocket toward the clouds. Up there, the risks multiply. The air gets thinner, the temperature drops, and one small mistake could send you plummeting straight back to the ocean below. Only the sturdiest ships and the most skilled helmsmen can survive the chaos of the ascent. And here's the crazy part. This isn't even a rare event. The Knockup Stream occurs as many as 5 times a month, meaning danger is a constant presence in these waters. And anyone sailing near Jaya lives under that threat. But beyond all the physical danger, there's something much deeper about the Knockup Stream. You see, this isn't just a violent natural phenomenon. It's a leap of faith. Riding the Knockup Stream isn't merely a way to travel, it's a test of spirit. To choose it means willingly launching yourself into the unknown, risking everything for the sake of a dream. It demands more than strength. It demands resolve. Because the crews who take this path, they're not just chasing a destination, they're chasing legend. They're defying the laws of nature and quite literally aiming for the heavens. In that sense, the Knockup Stream isn't just a natural disaster. It's a metaphor for the pirate journey itself. Chaotic, dangerous, unpredictable, and absolutely worth it for those brave enough to believe. The next dangerous area of sea on our list is the Florian Triangle. Now, this place is one of the most mysterious and unsettling regions in the entire world of One Piece. It's located in the stretch of ocean between Water 7 and the Red Line, a massive triangular zone that's constantly blanketed in thick, unnatural fog. This fog is so dense, it completely blocks out the sunlight. It makes the whole area feel like nighttime, even in the middle of the day. Visibility drops to almost zero, and the air itself feels wrong. Heavy, claustrophobic, and filled with a silence that doesn't feel natural. You see, because of these conditions, the Florian Triangle has become infamous for one terrifying reason: the unexplained disappearance of ships. Every single year, countless vessels vanish here without a trace. No wreckage, no signals, just gone. Entire crews lost forever. No survivors, no explanations. It's earned a reputation, much like the real-world Bermuda Triangle, a cursed sea where logic, reason, and reality themselves seem to fall apart. The darkness of the waters, the constant fog, and the strange phenomena reported by passing ships all combined to make it one of the most feared places on the Grand Line. Now, one of the most infamous things ever to appear in the Florian Triangle is Thriller Bark, an enormous island-sized ghost ship. This floating fortress was once the base of operations for Gecko Moria, a former warlord of the sea. Moria used this monstrous vessel to conduct all sorts of twisted experiments. With the power of the Kage Kage no Mi, the Shadow fruit, he could steal people's shadows and use them to reanimate corpses, creating a mindless army of obedient zombies. Many of the unfortunate souls who vanished in the Triangle have ended up aboard Thriller Bark, their shadows stolen, their bodies reanimated, and their humanity erased. But here's the chilling part. Thriller Bark had only been drifting through the Florian Triangle for about 10 years by the time we were introduced to it. And yet, the disappearances, the tales of ghostly ships, the whispers of monstrous silhouettes in the fog, all of that existed long before Moria ever arrived. That means something else, something older and possibly far more terrifying, has been haunting those waters all along. In the end, the true danger of the Florian Triangle isn't just one single threat, it's the combination of everything. The unnatural fog, the supernatural unknown, the colossal sea monsters said to dwell beneath the waves, and the occasional intrusion of powerful villains like Moria. All of it weaves together into one terrifying mystery, a place where reason fades, where the sea itself feels alive, and where fear becomes part of the air you breathe. That's what makes the Florian Triangle one of the most enigmatic, haunted, and flat-out terrifying regions in the entire One Piece world. The next dangerous sea area on our list is the Calm Belt. Now, like we mentioned earlier, the Calm Belt borders both sides of the Grand Line, acting as a natural barrier between it and the four great seas, East Blue, West Blue, North Blue, and South Blue. Now at first glance, it doesn't look dangerous at all. In fact, it seems almost peaceful. There are no crashing waves, no violent storms, not even a single gust of wind. But that's exactly what makes it so dangerous. It's deceptively calm. You see, the Calm Belt is infamous for having no wind, and absolutely no ocean currents for traditional sailing ships. That's a death sentence. Without wind to fill your sails or currents to carry you forward, you're just stuck, drifting endlessly, floating in silence. For centuries, this eerie stillness made the Calm Belt almost impossible to cross, and that isolation helped keep the Grand Line cut off from the rest of the world. Most people didn't even dare to try. But the real danger of the Calm Belt isn't what's on the surface, it's what's beneath it. This is the primary breeding ground of the Sea Kings, colossal ancient monsters of the deep that make ordinary ships look like toys in a bathtub. These creatures are not just huge, they're aggressive, territorial, and strong enough to crush a vessel in seconds. And because the sea is perfectly still, there's no escape, no wind to flee, no waves to ride, no way to hide. Just endless silence until it's shattered by the roar of a sea king rising from the depths below. Now, adding to the nightmare, is the lack of reliable navigation tools. In the world of One Piece, normal compasses don't even work on the Grand Line thanks to its bizarre magnetic fields. And in the Calm Belt, you don't even have the benefit of currents to guide you. The only known way to cross safely is with specially engineered ships like the ones the Marines use. Their vessels are equipped with engines for propulsion and hulls coated in sea stone, a material that masks the presence of living beings. That sea stone layer helps them avoid detection from the Sea Kings, turning the ships effectively invisible to the monsters below. But most pirate crews, they don't have access to anything like that. For them, entering the Calm Belt is a massive gamble, and more often than not, it ends in disaster. Now symbolically, the Calm Belt represents something deeper. It's the illusion of safety, a place that looks peaceful on the surface, but hides unimaginable danger just beneath. It's a reminder that stillness doesn't mean security, and that some of the deadliest threats in the world are the ones that wait quietly out of sight. For pirates and adventurers alike, the Calm Belt isn't just a stretch of tranquil water. It's a threshold, a silent, merciless guardian standing between the ordinary seas and the extraordinary chaos of the Grand Line. Now, probably the most dangerous sea on this entire list, without question, is the second half of the Grand Line, known as the New World. And I mean, come on, it's so dangerous that people literally call the first half of the Grand Line paradise by comparison. That should tell you everything. So here's the thing, the first half of the Grand Line already throws all kinds of madness at you. Wild weather, bizarre islands, unpredictable sea currents. But the New World, it takes all of that and dials it up to a level that's almost cartoonishly extreme. It's not just chaotic, it's outright brutal. It's the sea where legends are either born or broken. Let's start with one of the fundamental issues, navigation. In the first half of the Grand Line, normal compasses already don't work because each island has its own magnetic field. So crews need a special compass called a log pose, which locks onto the magnetic field of an island and then resets once you land, guiding you to the next. Simple enough until you reach the New World. In the New World, even a standard log pose becomes unreliable. Why? Because some islands in the New World can hide or completely shift their magnetic fields on a whim, making a single needle log pose practically useless. To navigate properly, you need a New World log pose, a more advanced version with 3 needles instead of 1. This gives you multiple magnetic options to follow, which helps increase your chances of survival. It's a literal upgrade for a more dangerous game. But then there's the weather, and the weather in the New World is no joke. You can go from clear skies to apocalyptic lightning storms in seconds. We're talking hurricane force winds, sea-splitting waves, and lightning that doesn't just strike, it lingers. The Straw Hats themselves had to deal with a storm upon entry to the New World, and that's just the welcome mat. Then, you've got all the random hazardous sea zones that just exist out there. Take the Sleeping Mist Zone, a mysterious area somewhere between Elbaf and Egghead. Little is known about it, except that it puts entire ships to sleep just by sailing through it. Then there's the Hot Sea, where the very water is boiling, and it's crawling with poisonous fish so lethal that even Luffy, who built up resistance after surviving Magellan's poison in Impel Down, nearly died from a single bite. And if that wasn't enough, the sea currents in the New World are completely unpredictable. You've got giant whirlpools, serpentine currents that almost seem alive, and bizarre sea slopes, literal parts of the ocean where the water just slants downward, like you're about to fall off the edge of the world. You might be sailing along, and suddenly boom, you're caught in a tidal wave, stuck in an underwater current, or floating toward an island that's literally on fire, or one being constantly struck by lightning, or even one that's just suspended in the sky for some reason. And through all this madness, you also have to worry about the 4 emperors, the Yonko. These are the most powerful pirates in the world, and they rule over vast chunks of the New World like kings. Kaido, Big Mom, Shanks, Blackbeard, each of them commands enormous fleets, governs entire island nations, and has influence so vast that just wandering into their territory could get you annihilated. And it is not just the emperors you have to worry about, because you also have super powerful pirates, like Dracule Mihawk, the world's greatest swordsman, who will wipe out your pirate crew just because he is feeling bored. So at the end of the day, every voyage in the New World is a gamble. It's a place where only the strong, the smart, and sometimes the just plain lucky can hope to survive. And that's what makes it the most dangerous and most legendary sea in the world of One Piece. But anyway, that's the video guys. Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section down below. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. But anyway, see you guys next time.